Over the last few weeks, I've been posting videos of top 10 recruits from certain classes. For the most part, we've been sticking to offensive players, but an overwhelming amount of you guys have been putting in a request for one top 10, a top 10 that has never been seen before. So today, we're going to be taking a look back at the top 10 kicker recruits of all time. Well, at least since the mid-2000s or so, when 24/7 Sports officially started giving kickers grades. Before we get to today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to the channel. If you love college football content, then this is definitely the place for you. For this top 10, we're going to be using the composite rankings from 24/7 Sports. Ironically, the 10 best kickers all came over a 6-year stretch from 2006 through 2012, so there won't be any new names on here that we've seen play college football over the last few years. Kicking off this list is a very familiar name, arguably one of the greatest kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. Back in 2008, he had a rating of 85.73. He attended Westlake High School in Texas. During his high school career, he made 30 of 44 field goal attempts and 155 of 162 PAT attempts, while also seeing action at cornerback, free safety, and wide receiver. During his first 2 seasons at Texas, he was only used for kickoffs and for punts. It was his junior season in which he became their full-time kicker. He was an honorable mention All Big 12 selection by the AP. He converted 23 of 27 field goal attempts and all 27 PAT attempts for 96 total points. At the time, his 23 made field goals were the second most in Texas history, and they were the 6th most nationally in 2010. During his senior season, he made 17 of 21 field goals. He was named 2011 second team All Big 12. He was 44 of 44 on PATs and also punted 63 times for an average of 40 yards a punt. He went undrafted in the 2012 NFL Draft, but was signed by the Baltimore Ravens as a free agent. After his impressive preseason, he was named the starter, and well, the rest is history. So far through his NFL career, Tucker has made 291 of his 321 field goal attempts. His 90.7 accuracy percentage is the greatest in NFL history. He's also missed only 4 PATs in his entire career, a percentage of 99%. He's set numerous Ravens records, along with a number of NFL records along the way. Here are some of the notable NFL records he's broken over the years. He has the most seasons with 30 made field goals with 6. He was the first NFL kicker to ever kick a field goal in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s in the same game. He's the first NFL kicker to have 3 50-plus yard field goals in one half. He has the most 50-plus yard field goals in one game with 3, the most 50-plus yard field goals in one season with 10, and is the fastest kicker in NFL history to ever reach 1,000 career points. When it's all said and done, Justin Tucker very well can retire as the greatest kicker in NFL history. Up next at number 9, we have Ross Martin, who in 2012 had a rating of 85.90. He attended Walsh Jesuit High School in Ohio. He was the number 1 kicker in the country, and he committed to Duke. During his freshman season for the Blue Devils, he was an honorable mention All-American pick by Sports Illustrated and was first-team freshman All-American by CBS Sports. He was a semi-finalist for the Lou Groza Award, and for the season, he was 20 of 23 on field goals and 46 of 47 on PATs. During his sophomore campaign, he was an honorable mention All-ACC. He was 13 of 19 on field goals, but was perfect 58 of 58 on PATs. He set Duke single-season records for PATs, PAT attempts, and PATs without a miss. For his junior season, he was 3rd-team All-ACC and yet again was a semi-finalist for the Lou Groza Award. He was 19 of 21 on field goals and was 50 of 50 on PATs. In the ACC, he ranked 1st in field goal percentage, was tied for 1st in PAT percentage, was 4th in points per game, and 5th in field goals per game. He set Duke single-season records for total points and for field goal percentage. For his final season in 2015, he was 2nd-team All-ACC. For the 3rd year at Duke, he was a Lou Groza Award semifinalist. In addition, he was also a Werfel Trophy semifinalist and a Campbell Trophy semifinalist. He was 26 of 30 on field goals and 42 of 42 on PATs. He set Duke single-season records for total points, field goals, and field goals of 50-plus yards. After going undrafted in the 2016 NFL Draft, he signed with the New York Jets. He was released on August 28, 2016, but signed a future reserve contract with the Jets in January 2017. However, before the season began, he was waived by the Jets. A year later, he signed with the Cleveland Browns, but was released shortly after that. He's currently an associate manager at Virtue USA in Salt Lake City. Per his LinkedIn page, he's a client partner on the healthcare and life sciences team. Up next at number 8 is Anthony Farah, who in 2009 had a rating of 86.04. He attended St. Pius X High School in Texas. During his senior season, he was 37 of 39 on PAT attempts and 8 for 9 on field goals. He also averaged 45 yards a punt. He committed to Penn State. He redshirted in 2009 and then saw action in 2010. However, he was only used for kickoff and punting duties. In 2011, he became the full-time kicker while still being the punter. He was a semi-finalist for the Lou Groza Award and was named first-team All-Big Ten. He was also a candidate for the Ray Guy Award. He made 14 of 17 field goals and was 20 for 20 on PATs. He averaged 42 yards a punt on 64 punts. He ranked 3rd in the Big Ten in field goal percentage, 4th in punting average, and 5th in field goals made. In 2012, he transferred to Texas. He appeared in only 6 games as he missed half the season with an injury. He was 2 for 4 on field goals but was 23 for 25 on PATs. He returned in 2013 for his redshirt senior season and had the best year of his career. He was a finalist for the Lou Groza Award as he went 45 for 46 on PATs and was 20 for 22 on field goals. He also punted 23 times, averaging 42 yards a punt. He wasn't drafted in the NFL and was never even picked up by a team, so he played in the CFL with the Montreal Alouettes and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. That didn't work out, and now he's done with football. He's currently a real estate agent at Resident Realty in Houston. Number 7 on this list is Cody, who in 2010 had a rating of 8604. He attended Jupiter High School in Florida. For some reason, although he went to Auburn and saw time in the NFL, his page on the Auburn website has no information on him, so all I have on his Auburn days are just his stats. During his career with the Tigers, he was 39 of 53 on field goals and 136 for 138 on PATs. He went undrafted in the 2014 NFL Draft, but signed with the Colts as an undrafted free agent. But he was traded by the Colts to the Eagles for a running back. And no, I couldn't tell you the last time I actually saw a kicker involved in a trade. He won the starting job and was named the Eagles starting kicker in 2014. He set a new NFL rookie scoring record, scoring 150 points. He was tied for the NFL lead in highest average of points scored per game during the 2014 season. He made 32 of 36 field goals and was 4 for 4 on 50-plus yard field goals. His great season earned him a spot on the Pro Bowl team. He was placed on the injured reserve list with a groin injury at the end of September in 2015. Then in September of 2016, he was waived by the Eagles. A few weeks later, he signed with the Browns. He finished the 2016 season going 20 for 25 on field goals and was perfect from under 40. In September of 2017, he was waived, but was claimed off waivers the next day by the Dolphins. He played in all 16 games for Miami, going 21 for 23, and yet again, he was perfect from under 40. In March of 2018, he signed a 4-year contract with the Chicago Bears. He struggled on the year, going 23 for 30 and missed 3 from under 40. Everyone remembers him for his game against the Eagles in the NFC wildcard game. He had a chance to win the game on a 43-yard field goal, but the ball hit the left upright and crossbar before landing back out into the end zone. The Bears lost the game and their season was over. He was released by Chicago in March of 2019. He was signed by the Tennessee Titans later in the year, but was released in November. Then, in 2020, he signed back with the Browns again. He made 19 of his 22 field goal attempts on the season. Up next, at number 6, we have Jeff Locke, who back in 2008 had a rating of 8604 as well. As you can see on this list, there were a number of players who had the exact same rating. He attended Mountain Ridge High School in Arizona. He played wide receiver, punter, and kicker, and was rated by ESPN as the #1 kicker of his class. He was also ranked the #1 national punter as well. He set school records for most field goals in a season, longest punt, and longest field goal, hitting a 63-yard state record field goal. He redshirted at UCLA during 2008, and then in 2009, he was one of the 10 semifinalists for the Ray Guy Award and was the only freshman to be nominated. He was selected second-team All-Pac-10 by the league's coaches. For the season, he averaged 44 yards per punt, top 15 in the country, and second in the Pac-10. In 2010, he was named to the watch list for the Ray Guy Award. He ranked first in the Pac-10 and fourth in the NCAA in punting average. He averaged 46 yards a punt. In 2011, he ranked fifth in the Pac-12 and 12th in the nation in punt average. In 2012, he was a semifinalist for the Ray Guy Award. He was named first-team All-Pac-12 by the coaches. He led all Pac-12 kickers with 34 punts inside the 20-yard line. He also recorded 68 touchbacks on his 89 kickoffs. He was drafted in the 5th round of the 2013 NFL Draft by the Vikings. He earned the starting job and was the Vikings punter for 4 seasons. Over that time, he had 290 punts for an average of more than 43 yards a punt. In March of 2017, he signed with the Colts, but was released before the season began. Then in the middle of September, he signed with the Lions. He appeared in 5 games and had 27 punts, averaging more than 45 yards a punt, but was released at the end of October. That offseason, he signed with the 49ers, but was released prior to the season. Then in January of 2019, he signed with the Arizona Hotshots of the Alliance of American Football League, but the league folded in April of 2019. Currently, he's a financial planning associate at 5 Oceans Advisors in Los Angeles. Before we get to the top 5, if you could give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps share the video with more college football fans, and it only takes a second to do. Coming in at number 5 is Dustin Hopkins, who in 2009 had a rating of 86.04. He attended Clear Lake High School in Houston. He won the starting job at Florida State as a true freshman. He led the Seminoles in scoring with 97 points. On the season, he hit 19 of 27 field goals and finished the season with a streak of 33 consecutive PATs. During his sophomore campaign, he was a semifinalist for the Lou Groza Award. He scored a career-high 119 points, leading the team and the ACC, and the third most in a single season in Florida State history. He made 22 of 28 field goals and was 53 of 53 on PATs. He had at least one field goal in 13 of 14 games. During his junior season, he converted 22 of 27 field goals and finished 44 of 44 on PATs, extending his school record to 130 in a row, which was the best among all FBS kickers. He was selected as one of 3 finalists for the Lou Groza Award. He returned in 2012 and had a record-breaking season. He set a new NCAA scoring record for kickers with 466 points. He set an NCAA career record with 88 career field goals. By the way, fun fact, I was at the game in which Zane Gonzalez of Arizona State surpassed that field goal record a few years back. Hopkins posted 140 points and set a new ACC all-time single-season scoring mark. He converted 5 of 6 field goals of 50 or more yards, and became the Seminoles' all-time leader with 290 career kicks made. He was drafted by the Buffalo Bills in the 6th round of the 2013 NFL Draft, but he missed all of 2013 with an injury. He was then released by the Bills in 2014. He was signed by the Saints near the end of the 2014 season, but was released in 2015. He was then signed by Washington in September of 2015. Since then, he's been their starting kicker. So far through his career, he's made 151 field goals with a success rate of 84%. He's also 95% on extra point attempts. Coming in at number 4 is 2010 recruit Jay Williams, who had a rating of 86.61. Now, I'm not exactly sure what happened to this guy, but I literally can't find any information on him. It says here that he committed to Alabama, but his name is nowhere to be found on any Alabama roster. There are some articles from 2009 that say he committed to Alabama as a punter, but there's literally nothing online about him. So if anyone has any information on what happened to this punter of the future, please let me know. Coming in at number 3 is 2012 recruit Adam Griffith, who had a rating of 86.61. Now, here's a player who went to Alabama that I was able to find information on. He attended Calhoun High School in Georgia. He ranked as the nation's #1 kicker that season. He saw limited work his freshman year as he served as a backup. He became the starter in 2014, going 12 for 19 on field goal attempts and 48 for 49 on PATs. In 2015, the coaches named him second team All-SEC. He went 23 for 32 on field goal attempts, but was perfect on extra points, going 62 for 62. During his senior season, he was 21 for 28 in field goals and 66 for 67 in PATs. His 57 made field goals are the second most in Alabama history, and his 186 PATs are the most in Alabama history. However, what I guess you could say he's remembered most by is being the kicker who missed the game-winning field goal that resulted in the kick 6 back in 2013. He went undrafted in the 2017 NFL Draft, and that would be the end of his playing career. Number 2 is 2007 recruit Wes Byram, who had a rating of 87.95. He ended up at Auburn, meaning just like earlier, his bio section is clear, so all I have are his stats. He appeared in 51 games during his 4 seasons with the Tigers. He was 183 for 186 on PATs and knocked down 60 of his 80 field goals. His most memorable moment was hitting the game-winning field goal in the national championship against Oregon. After he left Auburn, he worked in pharmaceutical sales for 2 years, and then graduated with honors from law school at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. He's now an assistant prosecutor for the Office of the State Attorney in South Florida's Broward County. Number 1 on this list is 2006 recruit Brian Wright, who had a rating of 90.26 in 2006. He attended Salem High School in Ohio. He didn't see any action in Michigan in 2006, and then over the next 3 years was only ever used as a kickoff specialist. He graduated from Michigan and had already been accepted to Bowling Green as a graduate student majoring in hospitality management. Wright learned of an NCAA rule that would allow him a final year of eligibility if his new school had a graduate degree program that his old school didn't. Michigan didn't offer a hospitality management graduate program. Wright contacted Bowling Green coach Dave Clawson and asked if he had a spot for a walk-on. So he walked onto the team. He played in all 12 games and was second team All-MAC. He averaged 41 yards a punt while recording 10 punts of over 50 yards. He made 4 of 9 field goals and 17 of 19 extra points. He never made an attempt of playing at the next level. He's currently a sales director at Sparkplug IP in Washington, D.C. Well, there you have it. Those are the top 10 kicker recruits from 24/7 Sports. Was there a name on this list that took you down memory lane? If you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. If you love college football content, then this is definitely the place for you. If there's a video you'd like to see in the future, drop a comment down below and it very well could be my next video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.